Hi, Joe here over at Lily Cottage. How are we all doing? I know it's been a spell. As few of you know that follow me over on Instagram, it's been hectic. It's Christmas Advent time of the year, and something else happens in November, which I'll have a chat with you about at the end of this video in case you don't come on to my on Instagram when I do live chats. So we've got what I call my coffee break live chats. So yeah, there's something that happens in a couple of weeks time that I'd like to let you know about it, just in case you want to pop over or just keep an eye out on the website over a specific weekend. So I have something new. I have a hackle. So I'll pop a picture up. I got my hackle from Wing and Wool, and I've been wanting one for a long time. So I've managed to squirrel away some money, God knows how, and borrow a bit of feel to buy one. It's £160. Hold on a second. There we go, £160 for that. Now I've had a little go with it. I've had it for about a week or so, but I've only just got round to finding the time to do it now that all the advents are done, and I'm just waiting to get them posted out. So yeah, it comes with a guard at the top, which not just for storage but also for when you're working with it, you place that on the top. The tines are seriously sharp. It also comes with a tine straightener as well, that if any of these get bent, you just put it over the top and you give it a bit of a wiggle, and it will help force those back into place and straighten up. Now underneath here there are two holes. Now it doesn't come with clamps. I'm not quite sure why. There we go, there's one there. I'm not quite sure why the holes are on the top. I've never seen any type of clamps that come with equipment where they go up and hook in the top. So yesterday Phil popped me out to B&Q and helped me buy these Irwin hand clamps. Really easy to use with little hands, and because I've got this really strange drop, this is a 1.5 or 2 inches. This drop here is 2.5 inches, and then I've got another one underneath it. So I needed something that would really extend out. So if you're having the same sort of problems with depth and things like that, then these were perfect. They were £7.50 each, so not massively expensive in the grand scheme of things. But yeah, they're definitely going to work for me, and I need them for other things as well that I use in my room. So yeah, it has a backing on the back of it. I feel like this should be on the front, but I suppose it doesn't really matter which way you work the hackle. The row on the back is shorter than the row on the front. I could turn it around, see if that makes a difference, but yeah, it's not got a curve, it's straight, so it's slightly designed different from other ones, but for £160 and it's handmade, I can't really complain. It's handmade to a decent standard. I'm quite impressed with it. There's certain things that I'd like to change. I would like holes in the front so I can use the clamps that come with my drum carder. That would make my life a little bit easier if I could have them so the hooks will go straight through the front of it and not in the top. That would make a lot more sense for me. So anyway, I'm going to get on with this. I've picked out some fibres. These are the ones I've practiced on, and I've got a heck of a lot of waste left over, and I've got a little plan to use that at a later date. And there's some that I did yesterday. There we go. I added stellina in with that as well. So I'm going to use rose fibre and tussar silk, and I thought pinks, greys, there's another shade of pink, and then sandy colour, and then this bluey colour. So I thought really moody, hint of the sunshine or sunset in the background. So that's what I'm going to do. I've roughly worked out that to get a really good blend, you want to look at around about, if you're weighing out your wool, about 50 to 80, maybe 90. You can get that amount of fibre on there. Less is more, but we'll have a little go. Now remember, and take into consideration, I've only been playing on this since yesterday. I had a go yesterday and a go this morning, and I'm going to have another go now. If anyone's got any tips for me, then please put them in the comments down below. Please do remember, it's not a topic that I'm familiar with. This is a new device to me, so I'll be having same issues that you might come across as well. So let's get layering. There we go. So I'm going to start with this darker grey first, and you can either do it so you lash the fibres on, or you can hold on to the rear and pull larger sections. Now I've made sure that my hand, just like if I was drafting for spinning with, is far enough away, not just from the tines, because you have to be really careful, honestly, you could puncture yourself on them, but also to make sure that the fibres, I'm not gripping it up here where the fibres are going to get stuck and they're not going to pull free. So I just want to make sure that they're further away from the staple length so they'll easily come out without having to have a fight with them. So that's just one little tip that I would use if I was using the English combs as well. I'm just going to keep going along there like so. And I've got some sections over here that need a little bit more filling. And I've got different coloured glitter that I'm going to add in with this as well. I want some sparkle in there. So I've opted for a blue shade, a crystallina, pink and silver. Next I'm going to go in with a little bit of Matussa silk. I don't want a lot of this, so I'm just going to lash, so let it just fall behind. Just make sure your hand is far enough away and that the droop of the fibre itself is flopping over the back. Right, so we've done a bit of that. I'll add a little bit more in a minute. I'm going to go in with my ballerina pink. So we can just guide my hands around the back so to make sure that I don't hurt myself if I want to hold these sections here. But as you get more confidence with it, then you may just want to lash as in that and not guide. Just bring my fingers back a little bit on the fibre. See, caught myself already. Talking with dangerous implements at the same time, not a good idea, Joe. Right, so I'm going to go in with this mole skin coloured pink. I'm going to hold that like that for a minute, and then I'm going to go in with some silver Angelina. And this I'm going to do really gingerly. There we go. And a bit more. Quite happy with that. Put that one to one side and then come back with my pink. Like so. And I'm just going to repeat that. I have got this light mid-tone grey. I want some of that in there now. And I'm going to stop this halfway through and stick some Angelina on. I'm going to go with this really bright pink. Like so. Grab my grey again. There we go. Then I've got some cream here. I'm going to save a little bit and I'm going to go in with some of my rose fibre. If you find it's really silky and doesn't have a lot of grip, just do the teasing of the fibre. Like if you were using baby alpaca or something like that, was a really fine fibre, then just help manipulate it a little yourself. Like so. And then I'm going to go in with some of this lovely blue. Oh. If you find your rovings a little bit twisted and constrained at the top, just tease the fibres open on the top there. Right, I'll be looking like at the back. I'm going to go in with my shell again. Like so, and I think I will repeat that the opposite way. So we will go in with some more of the shell, the blue again, like that. I've got some tissue silk here. We'll put some of that in sections along here, and go in with the grey, the dark grey this time. Really quite moody looking. And then go in with a bit more of this rose fibre over the top. I'm not thinking of any method because I just want to see what it looks like when once it's been, it comes out as a top. Lovely. I'll save a little bit for after. Go in with some of the tissue silk as well now. Yeah, that'll do for that. I've got my mid-tone grey, and we'll put some Angelina on. See, I'm getting to the tip of the fibre, the roving that I'm working with. Right, I'm going to go in with some Angelina. So I've got some blue here. It's lovely cobalt. Like that. Go in with my soft pink. So I'm working with about 58 grams of fibre, and then I've added in 10 grams of tussar silk and about 10 grams of rose fibre as well. So about 70-ish in fibres. And then I'm going to go back in with, no, I'm going to go in with the mid-grey. Save a little bit for the end, and then I've got my ballerina pink I'll put in next. Nearly done with this one. That's looking lovely. Loving this. What next? Just silk. There we go. The last of our cream. Then we'll go in rose fibre and just do that in sections like so. And then we'll add in, what Angelina did we do first? Let me have a look. Silver. So we want this crystal one next. So I don't want a lot. That'll do. And back in with the dark grey. Oh, I'm really excited to see how this turns out. And then I've got some mid-grey tone left over. I'll just go on sections of this. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is put my cover on the top so I don't hurt myself while working with it. And now I'm going to just lift these up. I'm going to just tease, because if you look on the reverse, there's a lot of fibres sitting out the back of that. Oh, excuse my bin. Where are we at? There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to gently tease the fibres from the back, so a little bit like a pre-draft. Right, now I'm using my Diz from, this is from Les Smith. You can find them on YouTube, not YouTube, on Facebook, sorry. You can find them on Instagram as well as Rolls Wood, R-O-L-E-S Wood. There we go. Now, obviously I can't find a crochet hook, but I do have a sharp awl. So I'm going to go with my second to largest hole. And when you're doing this, you want, see how it's got a concave turn in it. Ideally, a round one with a more pronounced curve inside is perfect for this. But as I've got what I've got, and I really love the way I can hold this in my hand, the groove, then I'm quite happy. So what you want to do is pull that through, and then you start to draft, and at the same time as you push that in, and I go at a little bit of an angle so I can catch the fibres next door. And every so often you just want to pull these over so they'll get caught in. Now also I want to put a little basket on the floor to catch this as I'm going along. How easy is that? That little bit of pre-draft really helps with your drafting and your pulling and teasing the fibres. And then I just want to gently pull that, and then you just work your way back down the line again, and you want to just give your fibres a little flip up from underneath so that hopefully they catch as you're on the return. Back down the hackle. Just make sure. Now this is just split from the bottom. Don't worry, doesn't matter. You're going to make yourself some nests anyway, or you can braid it up, whatever you find easier to store and work with. And you just keep going. Just give it a little tease. Pull those fibres, draft them out a little just so they'll catch, and then once I've done this one back, I will have another tease pull of the fibres. Right, I'm just going to pop that in there. I'm going to tease these again. I'm going to just lift that up so I can get to the ones at the bottom. And tease, just give it a bit of wiggle so it drafts it from behind the tines. Just so you can make sure you can get as much of the fibre off as possible. I've still yet to find the technique where I can draft it all off in one bit and not be left over with waste. There we go. But I don't mind having to do this a couple of times if I have to. Looks like hair. So we'll start on this side and work our way back. I'm going to twist that, grab myself a little section and then poke that through the hole in my diz. There we go. When you're pushing the diz back, what it's doing is helping trap the fibres that neighbouring to the sections that you're drafting out from the tines. So it just helps to push them in and gather together. So I'll get to the end of this row here and I'll have another little tease and see if I can get any more off with my diz. Ideally, I'd love to get it all off in one go because it seems like such a waste. If anyone, as I say at the beginning, have got any tips if you've done this before, I haven't. I've only ever used my diz on blending board. Now I'm getting lots of top on there. My basket's full. What I'm going to do is give it another tease out. See if I can get some more from here. There we go. Me being who I am, I don't like to see waste. I mean, ideally I could use the bits of waste at the end, either on my blending board, convert it with a bit more fibre into rolags. I could use it on my drum carder and add it into bats so it won't go to waste there neither. If you were into felting, you could use the waste, leftover waste of it as well. Trying to think of other opportunities to use something without waste, because it's a lot of money when you're someone like me who runs a business to be losing out when you're learning to do something and you've got this wasted fibre that you can't use. Do you know what I mean? There we go. So I've teased out a little bit more of that. Let's start from this side this time. So just grab myself a little section, give it a bit of a twirl, and then feed it through that hole again, making sure that the concave or convex is on the inside. There we go. Again, I've managed to get a bit more drafting coming out of here. Let me see if I can get some more of the back of those tines. Yeah, that's as much as I can get from that. Put that in my little basket. Okay, we'll have a look at it in a minute. Let's see if I can get any more of this. Ideally, I'd like to get it all off. I mean, especially if you've made a point of buying some lovely fibre online, such as tissue silk or baby alpaca or even cashmere. This stuff's expensive and you don't want to be wasting any more of this. So how are we looking at the back? It's definitely feeling thinner. Right, let's have another go. One more try to get these fibres off completely. Right, get that bit up there. Try and get him caught in the there we go. That's the best I can do, and to be fair, it's the best I've done so far, so I'm quite happy with that. Let's have a look at the results of my drafting. Yeah, so hold on a second, we'll get on the table and we'll have a look at it. So there we go. So even though there was that really moody grey in there, it's actually diluted and the pinks come out more than the grey has, which is really, really great. I quite like that effect. Let's find the end of this. So you can see these silvery tones in there, like so. Isn't that pretty? It's really quite nice. Put that to one side. Let's try and find some more sections to wind up into a little nest. A little bit there. So this is only about 70 70 grams. Take in consideration the bit that's left on the back of the drum, the back of the hackle. That is so pretty. I really, really like that. Just give that a draft out a little bit here. Look at the little pink stripes through it from the silk and from the merino. And then you've got those hints of grey in there as well. That is gorgeous. It's so much of a different effect if I used it on my drum carder. Look. You've got the hints of the pink Angelina in there, and you've got the blue Angelina and the white Angelina and the silver. Like so. There we go. A little bundle of nests in moody greys with hints of pink in there. I really, really like how that's turned out. I really do like how that's turned out. Oh, to help if you could see me. Right, so the end result. Here we go. These lovely. The light's really awful. It's absolutely chucking it down. There is no light at all. Here we go again, vampire land. So we have these, you can just make up those moody hints of pink in there. I'll try and take a picture of my light box and put it on at the end so you can see what they look like. But yeah, and then I made these ones earlier on with bamboo and merino in that one in Corriedale, and then this one was my first attempt yesterday. Oh, in there with bamboo again and some Angelina and merino. So, oh, then there was silk fibre and just silk in that blend as well. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any hints for me or tips for me in using the hackle so I can get all the fibre off the back, I could probably do it with teasing it again like I'm doing now, and I may get the remnants off there, but ideally I'd like to be able to get it all off in one go, but I suppose it's just going to take a bit of practice. Would you be interested in purchasing handmade comb top nests from the website? If you do, or if you wouldn't mind, then let me know. Then I can put some little trial packs on the website and see if anybody wants them. Otherwise I can do these demos, but I won't use the wool. I've got something stuck to my shoe. Oh, packaging. Right, so news for anyone that doesn't watch Instagram. On the Saturday at noon on Instagram, if you go into the little circles at the top, it'll be highlighted that I'll be doing a live chat. Every year for the last couple of years I've been doing in November, the weekend before Thanksgiving in America. That is not for the UK, for Thanksgiving in America, because American customers prefer it if I do it the weekend before, because obviously they're busy and they've got things going on, family and stuff like that. Anyway, at 12 o'clock British time, GMT, at noon, 12 o'clock on Saturday the 22nd of November, I will be doing my festive virtual market. And it's a bit of a glorified Christmassy sort of feel, where I'll do show and tells of any of the bats that are on the website that you've been looking at and you want me to have a look and pull them down and see what you think of them. I also do a theme which this year will be sort of Scandinavian Heat, sort of comfort, cozy colours, inspired by winter mountains and Scandinavian harbours with those oranges and reds and yellow buildings with the grey mountains with snow caps in the background. All those sort of things, really lovely cozy colours. I'll be doing those, so there'll be limited edition art bats put onto the website in this specific theme. There'll also be, I have got a lovely arrangement of blended rovings to do for braids, for rovings for the website. So those will be done in these colours as well. So there's some there with silk, some with bamboo in there. I think I've got Shetland. I think I might have some Polworth. I can't remember, but there's a nice collection of blends going on the website, some that I don't do all the time. There's loads of little bits and pieces that'll be under a tenner on the website. But what I do is a bumper giveaway, and I do it every year. When I'm doing my Christmas Advents, I always put some aside so I can do 2 Advent giveaways. Well, I've got 3 Advent giveaways this year. I have got 4 times 100 gram art bats in the It's All About the Teal theme. They're gift wrapped and they will be put to one. They have been put to one side. So that's 400 grams and it's worth £60. Okay. There won't be any of the gifts in it that I do for the Christmas Advent. It's literally just the bats that were put to one side from me doing the 4 Sundays of Advent. Also, there is the 4 Sundays of Advent yarn. These will be all wrapped up. Now, the reason why they're wrapped up is for obvious reasons, that nobody's opened up their Advents for December and the 12 days of Advent from Christmas Day onwards. So they will be gift wrapped. So there's no clue as to what colorways you're going to receive. You've got the same as everybody else, but minus the gifts. And both of these are worth £60. And the third gift away will be one of the project bags that were made for the Christmas Advents this year, and a 100 gram bat from the Christmas Day colorway will be put in there, and that's worth £40. I might put a couple of little bits, extra bits and pieces in there, maybe some stitch markers, So yeah, so you've got 2 at £60 and 1 at £40 at least. And then what happens is from the Friday night of that weekend, so Friday the 21st, all day through Friday, Saturday, and to 6 p.m. on the Sunday the 23rd, any sales that go through onto the website, I will write your name down and you will be put into a draw. And then at 6 o'clock, it's closed. And then after 6 o'clock, I come back onto Instagram, I do a little reels, and I pick out 3 names out the hat, and I announce who's won what. Okay, so there is a chance to win a total amount of £160 worth of goodies. Okay, I do it every year. It's not something I do randomly. It's something I do every year as a thank you for everyone supporting me. I know it's been a tough year for everybody this year, tougher than last year, and we all thought that was tough. This year's been even tougher. So I always try and make sure that there's a nice ending, even though we're struggling as well, small businesses. I'm not going to stop from being who I am just because we're finding it hard as well. So if you're overseas, like Canada, Australia, America, and your name's pulled out the draw, I will cover any extra cost that's needed on your order, even if I have to send it separately. If you've put in a large order and I can't fit it all in one go, it goes over the threshold, then I will cover the postage for that item to be sent out to you out of my own pocket. Okay, which is only fair, and it will be added with your order if that's the case. Yeah, that's it. So please watch out for social media, either on my Facebook or my Instagram, for an announcement of the colours that I'm thinking of, a little hit reminder as well to let you know that this will be going on the week after. So I'll put a post up in a couple of weeks time. I'm going to be rushed off my feet now because obviously I've just done Christmas Advents. Now I have to start getting all the extra stock put to one side and dyed and blended for this, which is really, really special because I decorate my room, I get the Christmas tree lights on, I put little fairy lights all over the place, get some Christmas decorations out, and I just make it a little bit extra festive. I'm hoping to go and pop out and get some fabric today so I can make some new project bags up as well. And don't forget, I do fluff rescue, so if you're ever stuck for an idea for Christmas for yourself, maybe a family member or a friend wants to get you something, like, send them to Joe at Woolly Cottage and get them to ask about the Fluff Rescue Parcel. The Fluff Rescue Parcel is absolutely amazing. It's not just for Christmas, I do them all year round. It could be a project bag that's sat there and it's not sold off the website, or I make them up specifically. And also inside you get 250 grams worth of fibre. It could be rovings, it could be art bats, it might include wool locks, it might have rolags in there as well, all depending whether you are a felter or a weave spinner. Just let me know at cart or drop me a message to let me know you've put an order in. Also inside that, I add in some extra goodies. It could be some spa treatments, it could be chapsticks, facial thingies, foot bits and pieces, it could be sewing needles, it could be knitting needles, it could be a mixture of all sorts. It could be knitting ends, it could be stitch markers, it could be yarn gauge, it could be anything in there. Might even have Christmas decoration. It has tea in there as well, drink sachets. Sometimes I add a little sweet in. It all depends. I've got my stash boxes down on the bottom here. So yeah, so if you want to come and join us for that, please do. I will catch you in a couple of weeks for a new video. If you've got any comments or suggestions, please put them down below. And when you're watching this on YouTube, can you please just hit that thumbs up and subscribe as well if you don't already. It just really helps my channel to grow. We're over, I think, 1.1 now on my subscribers on my YouTube, which is brilliant. So anyway, I need to go. Postman's come and my dogs are going to go ballistic. So take care for now, and I will catch you in a week or two. Bye.